Hey everybody, we're having company tonight and I always like to serve coffee with a little something. So I'm making Snickerdoodles. It's a great cookie. It's a cookie that's nice when you're kind of bored with chocolate chip. How could you be? Or peanut butter, oh no. But it is. It's a good cookie that's a little, a little different. Very spicy, very sweet and delicious, and very buttery. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you down to the bowl. It's a pretty straightforward recipe. I think you'll love it. And I've been making this recipe now for several years, and it's really good. So let's come on down and I'll show you what I've got. All right, I'm going to bring you in a little bit so you can see better. All right, so in the bowl here, what I have is 2 3/4 cup unbleached, which I like to use when I'm baking, unbleached all-purpose flour. And to that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. There are some recipes that call for cream of tartar, which is perfectly good. This one, which I like, is that it calls for just a little bit more baking powder, and you can eliminate the cream of tartar. So if you have cream of tartar, maybe 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon cream of tartar. All right, and then it calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Put that in. And that's the dry ingredients, and I'm going to just whip those up here with a little whisk. Make sure those little salt and baking powder are combined pretty well. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and set that aside because I've done my work there. All right, in this bowl I have a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks, and what I had done is I had added the eggs in here prematurely, and so I have scooped them out the best I can. And see, we all make mistakes in the kitchen. I just do it really well. And to this, I'm going to add 1 1/2 cups of sugar. That is 1. And 1/4 and 1/2. All right. Now, I'm going to put this on my mixer, and I'm going to blend it really well, make it nice and fluffy and light, probably about 2 minutes. And once I do that, I'll be back. So I'm coming in here now, and I am scraping the sides of the bowl down and the beater. And I still have a ways to go because it's still kind of grainy, which we don't want. So I'll be getting this moving and we'll be back again. All right, this looks nice and fluffy. It got a little pale. Let me bring you in here so you can see there. It turned a little pale, right? That kind of helps you know that you're getting to that fluffy stage. Now, this recipe has never called for vanilla, but I have to have a little vanilla. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon, just a little bit, because I think a cookie without vanilla is just a really sad day. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to beat this in and I'll be back. All right, I gave that about 45 seconds. Now I'm going to start adding the eggs, and I'm going to do that one and then another and just mix them until they're just mixed. Now I've got these in a bowl. I'll show you right there. So I'm going to try to slip one in at a time. So we'll see how that goes. There we go. That worked pretty good. And get that combined. And the next one. Give that a scrape down. And I'll give it just a Just a few turns more. I'm going to now start slowly adding my flour mixture. Just till combined. See there, it's just combined. Because you don't want to beat too much, because then you'll get too much air in those eggs. So this is looking very nice, very nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up a little bit. Let me bring it up here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get kind of cleaned up here, and I'll bring my cookie sheet in. We're going to have the temperature on the the temperature on the oven set at 350, I'm quite sure. Yeah, 350, I was right. And then we'll get ready to start putting these cookies together so they can go in the oven. We're back. I'm ready to start making the cookies. And what I did was, it's a pretty warm day here in my kitchen. So while I was, tidying up, I put the dough in the refrigerator so it would stay, cool. I think it probably was in there no more than a half hour. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do this. I've got the dough, which is cool, kind of cold. I have mixed together, let me move you down here. I have mixed together here a mixture of sugar and cinnamon, and this is what my cookies, the little balls, are going to be rolled in before they're baked. And I'll tell you the way I do this. Let me get a little organized here. And I'm using just a nice little, well, it's maybe 1.25 inches, something like that. It's not a big one. You could do big ones, but So what I do is I take a scoop and I make my little ball, and I just set it down on the cookie sheet. And I go through and I do a whole cookie sheet of the balls before I roll them in that sugar. It's kind of a Sunday line style, if you will. And these are going to spread, so you want to make sure you leave them at least 2 inches apart because they do spread. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this cookie sheet, and all right, we've got these all done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each ball of it and now roll it in the sugar mixture. And again, it's just kind of a little assembly line here. So you don't have to stick your fingers in the sugar and then back in the dough and back in the sugar. It's just it's neater, it's cleaner, and everything is the one reason I do like using a scoop is that all the cookies are almost identical in size, which makes baking even. So you don't have some cookies that are bigger than the others. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these in my preheated 350-degree oven, and I'm going to give them approximately 10 to 12 minutes. And we will bring them out, of course, and let them cool on the cookie sheet for maybe 5 minutes. When you take a cookie out of the oven, it can be really too soft to move. Now I'm just going to give these just a tiny little tap, just like that, just like a little pat. Okay, these are going to go in the oven, going to give them 10 to 12, and we'll be back. I am back, and here are my cookies out of the oven. 12 minutes on my oven, and I do have a convection oven, and I let them sit on the cookie sheet, see there, for about 5 minutes, because if you don't, they're going to, let me move this out of the way so you can see, they're going to crumble and fall apart, and we don't want that. Just that little few minutes on the cookie sheet just helps solidify them a little bit. So I will go ahead and make up the rest of these cookies, and I can let you know how many I got from this batch. These are about, I don't know, 2 to 2.5 inch cookies maybe. And I'm gonna have you come in here so I can show you. Look at that, look at that, look at that nice golden bottom. That's that Silpat. Gives you a nice golden brown. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'll finish this up. Count the cookies. I know somebody who's back in his office and he smells these and he's saying, I want some of that action. We'll be back. We're ready for tasting. I'll pick you out a nice big one here. Okay.
Yeah, because on take 1, she picked out the smallest.
Well, and my timer started going off, so I quit the video. Yeah. Now we're having company, and we're going to have them for company, and then the company's taking the rest of them home. Oh, I just want a little tiny bite. They're short and moist, though, aren't they? Oh my gosh. That's a Snickerdoodle.
Now you know why I love this one. Oh yeah.
Chewy, buttery,
Wow.
cinnamony and sugary, you know.
That's like the best Snickerdoodle I ever ate.
It's the same Snickerdoodle I make you all the time.
No, it's not. This is good.
Here, that's yours. So there you are, Snickerdoodles, and I'm gonna get 3.5 dozen out of this because I've got a little bit left in my refrigerator.
That'll leave a dozen for our company.
I'm gonna leave out 2 for you so you can have a couple for tea.
Thank you.
I know, I'm very good. All right, everybody, that's it for Snickerdoodles.
Snickerdoodles, eat them.
And they're a darn fine cookie. Like I said, it's just you know, it's off, different, you know.
It's light.
It is light, yeah. It's not a heavy
so
cookie.
rich and delicious.
Very buttery. All right.
I like them.
Well, I know you do. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends, subscribe, share the recipe if you think it's really cool. Tell your friends to subscribe. Hit that little bell down below, and when I upload a video, you'll get to know about it. That's it.
And sneak Snickerdoodles.
Sneak those Snickerdoodles. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.